I really like the kind of pace that this lineup can set. This feels a lot more active than our previous offering.
Prepare for battle.
So we should be able to get a little bit more action-packed shenanigans going through. Okay, starting off with a Wraith Band first item and Tangos. That is also not something I see too often. Not going
Too
for
greedy.
a Quelling Blade, for instance. And the smoke on smoke shenanigans, though. NM is going to make the mistake of walking in towards the wrong direction. It does not seem to be the case. He just wants to block the creeps, and both sides have dodged each other completely.
Early triangle vision here. Out from the
30
E-Boys side,
seconds to
looking to
battle.
scout out any stacks that will be made for this Bristleback, as well as this Leshrac, honestly. And making sure that they can interrupt or kill the supports that are doing so.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what B-Boys can do with that Bangalore mid. That's something I'm especially looking for. The Viper, not so much because, well, it's a Viper.
The battle
But
begins.
Pangolier is always a very fun hero to watch. It's honestly a very high skill cap hero to get that perfect roll going.
It is, yeah. And actually, there was a very nice sentry put down blocking the ancients as well. This one I didn't even know you could place this one, but thank you to Seek and Strike for scouting that one out. I would not be able to find this one if I was D Warden.
It's not the easiest to find. So it is very crucial to make sure that there are no ancient sacks coming in when there's a bristleback. Speaking of which, bottom lane, a lot of shenanigans coming out. They lose speed. Great 3-man gank. Is on the run, will be able to get himself back thanks to the boots of speed. But yeah, double stun plus snot will kill anyone.
And great decision from the cut here, realizing that Ebis was going to immediately put pressure on his Bristleback, trying to keep him down with that Viper in the offlane, and saying, well, we're getting him off to a good start no matter what you do about it. It does mean sacking their Spirit Breaker for this first level a bit, but Grimstroke PA isn't that oppressive of lane. He should be
Yeah,
fine.
Spirit Breaker is a pretty tanky boy, so he should be just fine as well. Almost a charge available. TP topped by the Hoodwink. So Albino does still have to be a little bit careful, but now that they know that, of course, Hoodwink has TP top, they can be a lot more safe in that bottom lane. And with that first blood being secured onto the Viper, it does annoy him slightly.
Is under attack.
No, Inkswell trying to get the catch onto Giant. Inkswell stun. The Hoodwink in trouble. Dagger to slow him down. Can he get the kill onto Giant? Murdoch's going for that finisher. Does have himself a Phantom Strike to get out and disengage from the fight. So a big catch secured on towards Giant. Actually, it's Albino that managed to secure the kill. So look at those mangoes on Grimstroke, though.
He's got the whole fruit store.
Oh,
Fair
DNM
Farms
Inkswell. Stun coming out. A little bit of a whiff on the stroke, but he can, of course, eat all the mangoes, give him away, juggle him. No matter what he wants to do, he's got the tools for it.
And here on this mid lane, we have a very push and pull kind of matchup where both of these heroes can clear the creep wave pretty fast, and they will also be dealing a lot of damage to each other while it's happening. So if either of them falls off the wagon here, they're going to have a hard time coming back because of the inherent damage trade that's being done during the shoving.
In the bottom lane, the lane's of course also gonna be auto pushed by the Bristleback the entire time, so it should be in favor of the Viper. Thanks to the Quill Spray spam. One of the downsides, of course, of playing a hero like Bristleback safe lane is that you'll never have the lane towards your tower unless you don't want to use your Quill Sprays, but that's like your entire hero.
I mean, you'd say that that's a Bristleback, but funnily enough, he hasn't skilled that at all. And Speed hasn't skilled up his Nether Toxin yet. He's even held the point, not being sure if the Bristle even had a point
Oklahoma.
in the back.
He's dropping low, but not gonna die. But yeah, honestly, there's no reason to level Nether Toxin if he doesn't level Bristleback.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no reason to level Bristleback because he will have just leveled Nether Toxin. Though he just did level it, going in for the damage onto the Bristle takes a lot of damage. He's actually stuck. Cut the wrong tree! And Scourge McDuck, he dies because he cut the wrong tree. Oh my lord, that is a very unfortunate way to go down.
That's tragic. Speed not on the Nature's Prophet, and you still get blocked by trees. Sometimes it's just life, man.
These trees in Dota are definitely very scary, as the Hoodwink can attest. Or summon those trees to get the nasty stuns. One of my favorite heroes currently as well. Definitely really did love the addition of that one. A lot more than Marcy. I still hate Marcy.
Mercy needs some damaging, or sort of some less damage, I think. I've always wondered how it happened that we got an entire Horn Toss International and then got introduced to Horn Toss the hero. As
it is great fun if you
addition.
play Rubik though, and you like steal it, and then you can just yeet someone from
Mid
miles
lane, by the
away.
way.
Oof. Yeah, they have been constantly at each other's throat in that mid lane, and finally the first kill does manage to get secured. Pangolier not towards his level 6 yet. Bottom lane as well. The Bristleback trying to spam through, but there's Speed with the damage himself. Scourge McDuck dropping very low, but there's so much fighting going on. That's a lot of damage, but most of the time no kills.
This bot lane has become really hard for Scourge McDuck now. Pingu doesn't really have enough damage to keep this Viper away, so Scourge has to tank all of it.
DP by Kits coming in. Speed is in trouble, and that should be an easy finisher for the Lesh. The rotation, as you mentioned, definitely needed something to get Bristleback some control in the lane, and that is exactly what he needed.
Gonna do damage? TP some damage in. Now on the top. Rune.
Oh, Hoodwink. Gonna get caught in the mid lane. Oklahoma doesn't manage to get the steal going, but again, Ziz and Albino are just roaming together. A very nasty Clockwork Grimstroke combo. And he refreshes the sentry ward. They tried to scout it out as well, and they didn't find it.
Nasty. And now they're coming for DNM.
Oh, Scourge McDuck, bottom lane as well, taking a lot of damage, but another rotation in from Giant. Speed needs to be careful. They are running out of mana in the process. Speed's going to get taken down, and as you mentioned, DNM in the top lane as well. A lot of fights, a lot of different lanes. We can't watch them all.
Unfortunately not. At least this is a little bit of experience towards Albino Zebra, but yeah, that Viper getting shut out of the lane like this, just when it seemed like he'd made his return, 3 deaths on him now. Very painful, and he doesn't recover all that fast, especially not with all of his points into poison attack. If you have Nether Toxin, you get a mana regen item, you can at least farm jungle camps and push the lanes, but right now, he can't do anything but return back to lane and hope they don't come for him again.
I do really love the fact that they keep counter-warding that ancient stack just to make sure that
they got him.
Yeah, Giant. And then has to go for the very long dewarding of his own sentry. Always fun. But yeah, it's definitely something that the Bristleback needs, is a couple of those ancient stacks, because he's one of the only heroes that is really solid at farming at low level.
He is, yes, and if you go for the Aghanims build-up, usually it's Vanguard into Aghanims, you need that injection of farm as well in order to have your Aghanims at a decent time, but right now he's just farming regular camps.
Yeah, he's going Battle Fury build, so he's just going to go for the late game farm, which is not too surprising. Because his lane actually went really well against the Spearbreaker, who honestly was left to his own devices for most of that top lane.
I don't think he minds too much, but it has given PA a good start. At the very least, there's Radiant support in his jungle right now, trying to scout him out, but they
Dire's
missed
top tower
just
is under
about.
attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Oklahoma heading out towards that top lane as well. They want to defend the tier 1 tower. It does drop pretty quickly with level 3 Diabolic Edict.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But Kits needs to be careful himself, because Oklahoma can definitely be a very big nuisance. The problem is, though, in this area, there's not a lot to bounce on for the Pangolier, so his role would be very tough unless he can get a good catch towards the cliffs.
He'd really rather they dive him and he gets to roll around in the jungle a bit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Right now he's just guarding these two supports who'd really like to get some levels up here, but I don't think the cut is going to let them. The Lesh is moving back to top as well. They want this tower down.
It looks like they're ready to take a fight. E-Boys, they do have TPs on both the Viper and, well, the PA probably should not join the fight whatsoever. But the Viper TP in could be very problematic to deal with for the cut, because it's still a lot of damage with that Viper strike.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They're on such a close standoff, and the Dire know that they're so close. The Radiant not so much. There's going to be a charge, and he actually gets interrupted in the middle of the charge. Rolling Thunder comes through, though. And the Cogs actually give Oklahoma a turn around. That's a big catch with the Ink Swell perfectly timed on towards Kits. Oh my lord. Well, they don't have any rocks to bounce up against, so they create their own obstacles. Perfectly played, and E-Boy's definitely impressing me today.
Beautiful. That was some great teamfight coordination with a lineup that's honestly, apart from the Pango, lacking in teamfight. PA was farming throughout all of that, and it's almost like they surgically remove both of the cores from the cut, and the supports are just left standing there with the bill in their hands, like, well, what am I going to do with this? I can't pay this.
I mean, that's kind of the problem with the Hoodwink line support, is they don't ever want to show themselves. You walk out 1 second, Viper hits you with a Viper strike, you're dead.
Well, so it's up to Kids to tank some more. He's brought himself out of Defiance, might look to turn that into the Eternal Shroud. The faster Lesh build-up. I've seen it earlier today.
Giant is level 6 now, so he does have the sharpshooter. Speed will be getting gone on. Jump comes in, and they'll snipe down the Viper. Hookshot though, Inkswell. Pingu gets stunned up. Quickly find a trade kill coming through. Murdoch is hunting for Kits. Does he spot him out? Kit's actually pumping out damage in the trees. That's not the perfect place to be in. Misses the stun though. In comes Murdoch. But does he have the damage? He's actually going to get stunned. PA, that's a death that you really cannot afford. Grimstroke trying to run away. It even uses the Inkswell onto his Clockwork just so that he can get that extra speed so he doesn't get caught in the end. But yeah, the PA TPing in to try and help out. He's not done with his Battle Fury yet, so this is a big struggle for the PA.
Yeah, and then she follows the Leshrac out of the creep wave, where he's going to deal that much more damage with his max Diabolic Edict. That was she got baited a little bit there. Really wants to get in on the action.
Currently, both the mid laner and safe laner of the cut out farming the PA after that engagement. I mean, this is a pretty fat Lesh.
Well, he is having a good time. Going for the Kaya next. And they can't go for this middle towers easily though, because there's Oklahoma with the roll.
Wells is, Hookshot comes in. Do they get the stun lock on the Pangolier? He's trying to lock down the Lesh. The problem is he is very tanky in the process. Murdoch, he's being left by his entire team. He needs help, but the finger comes out and he is blown to smithereens. 2 quick kills again by the cut, and during all of that, Bristleback's just AFK farming. They find another kill on a PA, and Bristleback's not even needed. He's slowly building up that, well, I'm saying slowly, he's very close to finishing up that Aghanim Scepter.
Having himself a grand old time. Yeah, that PA? Oh no, they found Oklahoma now as well.
Oh, that's a painful death. There's no hook shot available. Giant is going to get slowed down. Soulbind holds him in place. They're going to try and get themselves the Lesh caught in the cogs. That would be a huge kill and a huge pickup, because, yeah, he was on a 5-kill streak, and they need to open up the map a little bit for that PA to farm up the Battle Fury.
Yep, and speed on this Viper needs to become a threat at some point. One of the reasons that this disastrous mid-fight happened was because he TP'd the bot to farm, got stuck there without a scroll off cooldown. And he's like, yeah guys, I'm sorry, I need 15 more seconds and I want to buy my Falcon Blade. I can't contribute anything right now. He's just barely edged past the Spirit Breaker, but the Spirit Breaker has so much more inherent value. And I'm saying inherent value. Inherent value if you're a Clockwork, killing him solo.
Yeah, you can't really disengage at that point, and big move by the clock coming through. That supportive duo from E-Boys really putting in the work this game. Last game, of course, their scores were, well, non-existent nearly, but they still had a lot of impact. This time around, they're both finding the kills and the assists, pretty much all of them, from their team's point of view.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Really putting in a lot of work, making up for, well, at the very least for Speed, who is very suspicious about walking up that ramp. He could have died there and he knows it.
It's definitely no easy game for the E-Boys with the farm on that Bristleback and Leshrac, and right now the Bristle's even done with his Aghanim Scepter. That means teamfights become twice as hard and scary.
Yep, this
Shot
is
in
go
again.
time.
DNM, another catch, and right now that Spirit Breaker is really struggling. It's almost done with the Shadow Blade as well, which of course would change a lot in his playstyle. Oh, yeah, they're just making sure that there's some space for this PA to farm where he doesn't actually have to join fights. Especially that last part's very crucial.
Yeah, please Murdoch, stay with the creeps, we got this.
So
Murdoch's
close in
gonna
the
go.
mid lane.
Yeah. Murdoch shouldn't join anymore until he has that BKB. And then Oklahoma is the one who, with the Orb of Corrosion, is going to put a lot of minus armor on the enemy team. Murdoch follows up, that should be enough right now. Speed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Just a little bit of poking and prodding on both sides.
Dire's top
If
tower
they
is
can
under
find an
attack.
opening. Oh, the smoke up coming out from the cut. Looking for a fight. Will get scouted out. The smoke actually gets broken on DNM. And
Radiant's
that one
bottom
was
tower is
spotted
under
by
attack.
the Observer Ward from the E-Boys. So they know that there was someone that was smoked up. You should definitely do have to be a little bit careful. But yeah, they're trying to find someone in each other's jungles, but they're just not walking in that direction.
And Ziz just checked the Roshan pit already with a Bristleback. You can always
Oh.
go with a DNM. Again?
And every single
at
time,
that.
Inkswell hook shot kill. They'll go for the Clockwork. In comes the Rolling Thunder though. Oklahoma trying to push them back so that the Clockwork can disengage from the fight. And I mean, it is Rolling Thunder being put on cooldown for 65 seconds, so there is an opening to take a fight on the cut. At least he kept the Clockwork alive. Pingu close, but there's no hook shot for Ziz, so can't really do anything but just walk up towards him.
Speed gives away his ward right there, unfortunately. But I'm not sure if they can actually move up to D-ward it. Albino Zebra would love to get
Radiant's
anyone
bottom
who
tower
tries
is
for
under
that D-ward.
Assault next item.
Oh no, they found
BKB.
Murdoch.
Oh, not again. Really surprising to me that he is even there. You see the Clockwork on the minimap, you know, making a nice circle towards their
Radiant's
own
middle tower
triangle.
is under attack.
I assume that is more a hint, as in you should farm right there. Considering they've had control over the Radiant jungle the entire time, and they kind of knew that the cut were in the Dire's jungle.
Dire's middle tower is
Yeah.
under attack.
Murdoch really likes to fly close to the sun right now.
Dire's middle tower has been denied.
He's getting heavily burned. Those is coming in with the hook shot on towards the line. They will find the kill. Clockwork is gonna get caught himself and sniped out of existence. So it's 3 kill streak, and Oklahoma's gonna go for the straight TP. Almost nether struck up by the Spirit Breaker, so you definitely don't have a free TP this game if you're not careful.
No, that BKB piercing stun will remain a problem, not just for him, but also for Murdoch later on. And we are very close to go time for the cut right now. Scourge McDuck waiting on the BKB. Normally in a Bristleback game without these freely available breaks, you'd see them go on the Aghanim Scepter already, but here need to take a little bit more time. Need to get that BKB to be truly safe, and then they can start balling, and it will nicely coincide with an Aegis pickup if they can just take it. Look at that minus armor. They can take the rush fast, but they're so scared of that hookshot. It's off cooldown again right now.
Yeah, even put away his infused raindrops just in case it's go time. Paper, once he has his BKB, I mean, the problem is once you have a BKB, you still get absolutely destroyed by the Bristleback and the Spear Breaker. BKBs are nice, but it's not the end-all save-all for the E-boys.
It's not. I mean, this Viper pick was mainly to keep the Bristle down, and they did get a lot done in that laning stage, even if it cost Speed most of his game.
A lot of standoff moments coming through, and it seems we have some lag issues. So, kind of, the game at least has a couple more fights than the previous one. A lot of big catches again by the Clockwork Grimstroke combo with those nasty hook shots onto TNM every single time. Though it's still not really heavy on the fights, just a pick off here and there with immediate disengage from both sides.
Yeah, I think it's very clear for E-boys, and it's so, like, it's thick in the air. It's like, we're only buying space here. We're only buying space here. We're really not looking for a fight, honestly. We just want your attention. We want your love and your, you know, we want all your thoughts to be focused on us so that you don't have time to think about Murdoch, who might appear out of the trees a little bit more often than we'd like him to. No, over here.
Murdoch's a decent amount still behind, and honestly wants to be ahead because you want to have that moment where you can buy the shard and not be lacking in stats. And right now he needs another item and then maybe can go for the shard, but there's he needs quite a decent amount of farm.
He does. And it's going to take a little while longer for him to get to that BKB, so there's going to be several minutes of Scourge McDuck running at E-boys, coming right on up, without the PA being able to join yet.
One big plus, of course, of the PA shard is not only the fact that you break them, but it does 16% of their max HP pure damage, which against the Bristleback and the Spear Breaker is a lot of damage.
It's insane. That's Timbersaw levels right there.
Exactly what you want. Currently, Bangalore going for the Yules. Yeah, he did go for the Maelstrom for more of a farming build. Next item and the Blink Dagger, then the Yules, and then the Shard. So pretty much a pure 100% perma lockdown Tango coming in.
I really enjoy watching this build.
Will hopefully soon enough die.
Oh, DNM. Are you sure? Oh, no, hookshot! He hits Albino Zebra.
That is a little bit of an unfortunate mistake. But he is level 12 now, so it's only a 45-second cooldown. Slightly better. They do know that it was used, because I think it was just on the edge of the Radiant Observer Ward.
Yeah, it was.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Now, Bristle back in the pit. Look at that Minus Armor go.
Dropping low, gets scouted out again. They're actually losing a lot of HP. Hoodwink's almost dead. Hookshot could actually, it kills him. Rolling Thunder, but Roshan already got taken down. They still want to look to take a fight here. Soulbind holds him at bay speed, trying to bump it damage. Big hookshot from Ziz coming through. And the Bristleback, he is actually just bringing out way too much damage in the fight. In comes the PA, charge on towards Scourge McDuck. Might lose his first life, but the problem is the stacks do keep on stacking up. And the PA needs to disengage. He's going to go for the TP attempt out. He just won't get popped. He's the only one still left alive, so all in all, not that bad of an engagement from the E-boys, because the back line they just all clump up, and when you stand on that Viper's Nether Toxin, it does do a lot of damage.
It sure does. And yeah, Oklahoma was on the backline that entire time, locking down the Lions, so no chance of any kind of counter initiation there as well. They were just all trapped in there with speed.
It could have been a lot worse for the E-boys, but you definitely saw in that fight, the Bristleback came into the fight with half HP, barely any mana, and he already was too hard to handle.
Incredible amounts of damage. At the very least, at the end here, Oklahoma actually gets a disarm out. So the PA gets a TP out without any further troubles, but that was too close for comfort.
Albino
Strike!
doesn't get himself the Inkwell stun, but they're going to lose their 2 supports this time around. As the Bristleback comes running in, and honestly, currently with that Aegis on the side of the cut, it is going to be pretty tough to keep them at bay. And that disadvantage is not that massive, but currently speed's being charged up. He needs to be careful. Stun is there. Will Speed be able to get anything done in return? DNM is actually going to go for the TP attempt. He dies in the fountain in the end. And they're quickly going to try and disengage on the rest of the E-boys.
Oklahoma clears the wave as well. Very nice. Not that this Bristle cares too much, but at the very least, the Glyph will now buy them some time. And buy the PA some more farming time as well. She has the BKB now, finally. Surviving that last fight gave her a ton of money actually. The Aghanim shard going to be bought up very soon as well.
Yeah, he's just all over the map trying to find some easy farm. Currently looking to see if any of the supports walk out, so you can one-shot them with a loose dagger on that level 18 coup de grace.
No supports on offer.
Another DC. Never fun to see those. So the Viper, I mean, it's tanky. That's kind of the Viper, just trying to pump out damage, stay alive long enough to get that Nether Toxin down.
Yeah.
But not really any utility items as an offlaner.
I like the zigzags in the experience chart here. If I had to guess what these came from, these are probably hit hook shots. What do you think?
I mean, it is fairly close in XP advantages the entire time.
Every time they go down, boom, boom, boom. I wonder.
I mean, some of them might be a little bit too much for that, but yeah. Hit and miss hook shot. I think the one towards 13 minutes, you know, you're looking at the PA getting caught here and there as well.
That's the swings back up, yes.
Yeah, they're keeping this a very close game, which I still expect it to favor the E-boys, but Bristleback late game is also no easy target.
Oh, that man is no joke. And right now we're in the middle of Bristle country. Can't stop,
with the
won't
Aegis.
stop.
It's not easy. And of course, the other threat is the fact that you've got a Spear Breaker still in the game, who currently not the strongest. I mean, he's died 7 times. So that's not the greatest for an offlaner. But, you know, you get the BKB, you get the Ags, all of a sudden you got this mad cow charging all over the map, and your supports are not safe. Probably stop charging the Viper because, you know, it's a Viper.
Yeah, it hasn't exactly worked out for them. And I gotta say, I'm very impressed with Speed's recovery here. He did have to move away from his team a couple of times, but Oklahoma more than made up for that, and the supports as well. And he's got himself the BKB Dragonlance now. He is very tanky, very hard to bring down. And of course, it feels so bad spending all of your energy and all of your disables on a Viper when there is a PA in this game.
It's not gonna be the greatest, because Viper, even though late game does dwindle down a decent amount, it's still a lot of slows, a lot of the breaks coming in, poisons just in general, nasty to deal with. And it's mainly just a distraction so that the PA can start pumping out damage. Because if they take down those two supports, most of the control from the cut has been taken out of the game.
Isn't it magical, Papa?
Yeah, that's that's a very weird voice line.
It is great.
Slightly disappointed in the voice lines from the Aghanim's Labyrinth this year.
But you don't want to be told bok bok bok.
No, those are from like the Battle Pass from like last year. But if you do the Aghanim's Labyrinth, you also get voice lines if you do like level 1, level 2, level 3. And those are kind of disappointing. Compared to bok bok bok, that is what you sound like, which was last year.
Hard to top though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pretty hard to top. Like, those were so incredibly good.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I have
I
very
definitely
much
do love
I've
roguelike.
enjoyed all of the players going "Do you love me?" and then "No" at each other. That's been pretty great.
The evil version and the
Dire's
non-evil
top
version.
tower has fallen.
It's just
They're both
the male
evil,
version
dude.
versus... Yeah. Oh, charge in. Comes DNM. No, the cogs. Blocking everything coming through. Actually, Speed gets kicked over on the wrong side of the cogs. That's not where you want to be as a Viper. Slightly unfortunate. Gasso's now done on the PA. So that's a plus, but they're charging for the Clockwork. Does he have a hook shot target? No, he does not, and that's a big double kill.
Big misread there from E-Boys. Just not quite on the same page whether or not they were supposed to disengage or go in there, and as a result, 2 people dying, bristle back on your high ground. That is a big consequences for one miscommunication.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Bristle back
Dire's middle tower
on the high
has
ground.
Disarmed.
Still 26 seconds until his Aegis gets taken care of.
Oh man,
But that-
Oklahoma is gonna
yeah.
be really happy with himself right now.
Dire's middle barracks.
Well, charge in. They're trying to lock him down. You need to hold him in place for 10 seconds, and the Tango's pretty good at that, I might add. He's dropping low 4 seconds, and he's just charging in. He wants to die right now, but he dies a little bit too late. Pops the BKB. They're charging for the kill, but Scourge McDuck, he's a fast boy. He's out of there. Murdoch actually gets nether struck, but BKB's aplenty on both sides. Hook shot in, going for DNM. That's the easiest target that they normally tend to encounter. Murdoch, nope, won't be able to hold down the Spirit Breaker. He charges back to safety, and a lot of shenanigans, a lot of fighting, but they still lose their set of racks, and they gain nothing.
Isn't it magical,
All of them got out. That is pretty magical indeed. And Murdoch, man, he bought out for the Desolator as well. Simply not enough damage there to finish the job on any of these heroes.
Radiant are scanning.
And not getting the classic triple crit in a row on the PA. Luck.
I saving it.
You just put it in the back pocket for when it's
rainy day.
necessary.
Look at this Bristle here, trying to die to the towers. Realizing he is too late, and he gets a little bit of the regen off before Murdoch cancels it. But that's enough.
Trip speed. Was mid as well, gonna get caught out. But definitely a worthwhile trade. Murdoch getting himself 522 buckaroos. That is going to be the shard done. The big threat, though, is the fact that you don't have a buyback available on the PA, so that you might want to try and get that going in your favor. And I mean, currently the PA is starting to become fairly scary. Actually, currently with that Fan of Knives, PA is scary. Going for the Ags, you're going to have some Naruto jumps during the fights.
Radiant's top tower
Yep.
is under attack.
I really
Oklahoma.
enjoy the Aghanim set pick.
Going for the stun lock onto the line, won't be able to get it off. Decides to instead TP to safety.
And that leaves Murdoch, well, not free to hit into this top tower. There's a
Oh,
charge
no.
coming in and no backup whatsoever.
Murdoch is,
Radiant's top tower.
well, he has a BKB, wants to turn it around, jumps on towards the support, finally gets a kill, but there's no way that you can TP. He tried to.
There's his supports.
They're going in. Murdoch, though, does he jump to the side? Yes, he does. He's on the disengage. Force staff to keep him away, but Murdoch The problem is the Bristleback is pretty fast. He's trying to dodge and weave as much as he can. In comes Oklahoma. He's going to get stun locked. Not the best place to be between a Bristle and a Bada.
No, it is not, and I'm surprised that his supports came in to help save him there. It leads to the death of 3 of his teammates as well. I mean, it was once again a beautiful engagement, but not worth it. You can see them curving from the back here.
Yeah, the Bristleback, you look at the damage recap, and he's walking around 4.2k damage dealt in that fight, and it was such a tough engagement. Like, the PA, you know you're going to get charged if you stand out anywhere on the map. Every single time the Spirit Breaker sees you, he's going to charge you, puts him in an awkward spot. Now the high ground push coming in. PA is not available for 30 seconds. You have a Leshrac, you have a Bristleback who does a lot of right-click damage. Buildings melt.
Absolutely. And neither of these 2 range heroes here can show themselves, or they will melt as well.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And you don't need farm on the Spirit Breaker to be effective.
You definitely do not. DNM hasn't had the best of times, but he's making up for it.
Well, towards Roche. Both teams know that it's up. Assume they're gonna try and get ready. Double smoke used by E-Boys. That's a little bit of a waste, unfortunately. But they're already in the pit currently. This definitely might be dangerous. The Bristleback has a Bastion, but he has it in his backpack. Stun lock though. Inside the cogs coming through. Can they lock it down? They find Scourge McDuck. He doesn't have a buyback. 100 seconds. He's down for the count. Chase on towards more. Can they find Murdoch and return? Yes, they do. The PA has a buyback available to rejoin the fight though. And Kits comes charging in. Albino, you're an easy sitting duck. Kits is actually the one pumping out all the damage. Certainly this fight in their favor. It jumps to the side. Pangolier on the run. Can they kite Kits long enough for this fight to work in their favor? The Nether Strike DNM dropping pretty low. Both the Viper DNM. Oh! DNM, he gets himself away, but no Oklahoma charge forward. Kits doesn't have any mana left. The buyback's coming out from the 2 supports on the cut. And honestly, E-Boys kind of just need to buy back to get that Roche control, because Oklahoma turns himself through, has a swashbuckle. Kits is dropping.
Yeah, get him.
Oh, and Kits is actually dead. We still have the Clockwork being a nuisance, but he's the last one standing. This fight lasts way too long, Kips. Eventually, it is going to be the last one from E-Boys. Can Ziz stay alive for the time being? Not really likely, and he will follow suit. But they can't take Roche on in the next 35 seconds anyway, so this one is going to stand for a little bit longer. But that's a double buyback forced out, and honestly, the Bristleback was not as survivable as I would have thought.
No, as soon as they get him in that corner, especially when he doesn't actually get to build up his stacks, there's not too much of a price being paid by E-Boys for going on him. And once he's brought down, well, the rest of it is an absolute mess, but once again, Clockwork coming in at the end, saving the day. They finally get Kits down. I don't know how to summarize that one. Honest to God.
A lot of stuff happened. Buyback's used on the side of the cut, though I think Bristleback is going to make sure he has... Actually, he's walking in towards the pit immediately. Though the 2 initiators from E-Boys are not there to try and defend it. And honestly, Roche is gone. Like,
Yeah.
definitely think E-Boys should have just bought back on the PA, for instance, earlier, just to take Roche, get that Aegis shard. Right now, you have to kill off his Bristle twice. Again. He's level 25. He's got that Warpath damage.
Absolute monster right now, and they can just charge straight at the top barracks here. No towers in their way.
Ooh. Buybacks are going to be necessary for the E-Boys if they want to defend this top set, though I don't think that that's going to be the case. Bottom can't be taken because of the tier 2 tower. Hook shot actually lands on the back line. Giant gets caught. Scourge McDuck stun locked. Currently will lose his first life, but again, that's only his first. Here comes the Lesh. Hook shot again, buys his with his Aghanim Scepter. Murdoch is going to be dead, but does have a buyback available to rejoin the fight, but no big KB if necessary, and he can't really reinitiate in that fight because no BKB means you're not safe for the engagement, and Kits is honestly the one that pumps out all the damage in these engagements.
Yeah, but with the Clockwork dead, there's nobody to split up the fight for her. If she engages for the last time, and Murdoch decides to just not risk it at all. Top rack's gone, buyback's gone. They're in the corner now.
It really feels like they should have bought back earlier for that Roshan, especially considering Bristle didn't buy back. And you had a buyback on the PA. You get Roshan, you get an Aegis shard, and you get a massive buffer for your team. Now they expended all of their spells, the full Rolling Thunder, just to kill the Bristle, who came back with full HP, full mana.
As we look back on the fight that made this entire sequence start. Wait, no, we can't. Bristle's already at the high ground again.
Dropping low. But it's Kits that's the biggest nuisance of them all. Trying to disengage back. The charge coming in on the PA. No chance. PA is dead. Dieback coming through. Oklahoma is the next one to follow suit. And that is indeed going to be the cut taking map number 2. The Bristleback did a lot of work. But honestly, Kits on that. The Shrek was the one that did all the nasty damage in these team fights. Dodging every Rolling Thunder and just walking up. Pops up the ult.